Okay. Oh, let me get my music going. Good Lord, already we're starting with that nonsense. That's not the controller I wanted. This is the controller I wanted. Okay. Whew. Good morning. It is Wednesday, hump day. Just like don't need that one. Okay, so I was going to sew more bend and snaps. However, I have 10 that I'm going to be doing at a time. And I don't feel like that would be as entertaining as it might seem to other folks. So I decided to do what you doing there? At quarter till 5 a.m. this morning, I'm like, I could go back to sleep for a half an hour, or I could go cut out a different pattern real quick. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do that because that's a great idea. So I am doing the Itty Bitty Bowler. It is a super, super cute bag. It's a tiny little baby bag. I do have some interfacing I need to finish cutting out, apparently. What? I actually did not finish cutting out my interfacing. That's okay. That's just, it's really easy. So I hope everybody's morning's going well. I know it's early. The sun just finally started coming up over here. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't do well with the time change. I don't know. I don't know why. It takes me months to get used to the time change, which is probably why I was up at quarter till 5, because my body was like, hey, it's time to go to work. And I'm like, wait, what? No, body, no, let me go back to sleep. And it's like, no, really, I'm not tricking you. It's time to get up. Oh, so I was like, okay. So I got up and started looking around. I'm like, oh man, he's still asleep. Why is he still asleep? And then I happened to glance at the light up clock on the wall, and it says, 5:45. And I'm like, body, you lying sack of nonsense. You lied to me. And it's like, no, I didn't lie to you. Nature lied to you. I'm like, no, it's not. You know what? I'm not going back to sleep. I'm just going to go get some work done, I guess. I was just so mad. Oh, cool. I will need that for the magnet. It goes into the scrap bin. Because Decoville light is so expensive that even throwing this little itty bitty piece away hurts me a little bit. Oh, here we go. I do the itty bitty a little bit different than written. I know. Quell your surprise and shock. With any type of bound bag, I do look to see if there are ways to alleviate some thickness here and there. And this bag does add some thickness because it has a little flap and it has a slip pocket on the outside. So I have to make sure that that doesn't cause it to be too bulky in areas. Not because my machine can't handle it, but then the seams won't sit as nicely. So, of course, I make sure that the interfacing is out of the seams. I'm sorry. It's playing Abracadabra, but it's by Sugar Ray, and I'm very confused. It keeps messing with my head. Mainly because of the fact that song was originally done by somebody else, like mid-'80s, I want to say. So yeah. Let's see. So I've got my stabilizer pieces, and like I said, see, it's a wee baby of a bag. So this will be one side of it, and it says, "Be strong, little marshmallow." I just thought this would be such the cutest little bag. Ooh, okay, hang on. I gotta turn on my heat. It is still a wee bit chilly, so one stabilizer will automatically go on here. So cute. All right, so that's gonna go there. Like I literally was ready to sew 10 uh bend and snaps all at once. The problem is that every step will take probably even the smallest steps will take a half an hour, and it'll just be the same step over and over, and I just didn't want to that kind of mindlessness. I have to have a book in my ear, and I wanted to see if I wanted to do a bunch of these. So the panel from is from Backstitch Fabrics. I got it on a D stash, so it's an older one, but it had all this great extra around it. So I have pretty much all the pieces except for the flap fit in that panel, and then for the flap I have the corresponding design that goes with it, and it's like smooth and so look at that. Look, I was able to fussy cut him on there. Look at him, he's my favorite one. I love him so much, and his new booty. Okay, anyways, so one side is just the panel piece, while the other side I do like I do my Erica's, in which I split that panel, that big panel, in half. And then I add about a half an inch of seam allowance. And I cut out a rectangle of the corresponding vinyl that I want to use, and then a rectangle of the waterproof canvas. And the reason I do that is because, especially with this one, is there is a slip pocket. So the top won't have as much extra bulk, but this will take away some of that bulk in the bottom. You'll see when I put it together. Ow, son of a motherless goat. And then I'm going to butterfly open the stitches so that it lays nice and flat. Definitely I do this on both sides of the Erica, because the Erica has slip pockets on both sides on the outside. And this, I have noticed it has eliminated a lot of bulk, which makes me happy. Don't mind me. I jammed this finger like earlier this week, and now I just jammed it again. And the nails are Doctor Who themed. So I've got a nice Dalek and then a nice matte TARDIS blue. I love it. It came out so cute. Okay, so that's that front. And then, where are you at? Literally just had you. This is it. Okay, so now that I have those two pieces together, on the back, First, I'm going to mark a couple of spots. You know, I forgot to grab my trail mix. My body is already reminding me that I did not grab my trail mix. I also forgot to check my sugar. So I've just creased it in the middle. I'm going to place the middle of this. And one of the main things you're wanting to do is make sure that your, okay, good. That your slip pocket's going to get rid of a lot of that. In fact, that's a good idea. I'm going to mark on my pattern piece where my pocket lines up. Okay, there we go. Because then what I can do now is make sure that everywhere the slip pocket is just about is covering that waterproof canvas. And I will be adjusting my pattern notes. Wow, I could actually write all this down. That'd be great. Me and the chair have not been friends the last couple of days. Okay, so now sadly I have to turn on my heat press. Which means my light's going to be blinking here and there. Now the reason, what I do, so I've traced my pattern piece on, as you can see. There we go. The pattern is the Itty Bitty Bowler by Sew Yours, S-E-W. I wish I had a little bubble that people would be able to read, that my little dino could have it there. Not that I mind y'all asking. Not at all. I mean, we got to talk about something while I wait for my heat press to heat up. No, I did check it before. I have one of the, I don't know if I can get in the camera here. Oh, maybe I do wear a sensor. And it was a little high earlier, but that's because somehow I stopped taking one of my pills. And apparently it's the pill that does the heavy lifting, because I have a high insulin intolerance. So I still take insulin, but my body every once in a while is like, no, that's okay. And I'm like, really? So I'll have really good weeks, and the insulin will be just like right spot on. I mean, I could eat I don't, so you know, I don't do this, but I could eat a half a box of Girl Scout cookies. I keep mine in the freezer so that I dole them out little bits. Plus, I love the sound of Thin Mints when they're frozen and they click together. I don't know. But I have an insulin intolerance, and my sugar does not most people, when you sleep, your sugar decreases. Mine doesn't do that. It does nothing. In fact, usually around between 1 and 2 a.m., it'll just skyrocket for absolutely no reason, because my body is an asshole. John Mayer got it wrong. Unless my Wonderland is closed down and haunted. So I can't remember if it's in Australia. I think it's an Australian show about these kids that find a haunted amusement park, and when you die at the amusement park, you come back and you get to stay at the amusement park. It's a really good show. I'll have to find the title of it again. So, flickering light, please ignore. I'm so sorry. It's because I've got the heat press on. Are you not on the right thing? You're not. There's what I needed at 300. Why does it have 200? So I've traced my pattern piece on after piecing these two together. And the reason I trace but don't cut yet is because I'm going to put my interfacing on. And if my interfacing shifts, then it's not that big of a deal because I still have some wiggle room on both sides. That's why I cut the pieces a little bit bigger. Now, with this type of piecing together, your interfacing is going to be a little weird here. So you can put a little bit of glue underneath that, or I mean, I just use it. Hasn't been an issue. I have not found it to be an issue, so yay me on that. But it can be a little weird with the automatic presses sometimes. All right. I'm going to try something this time. Hang on. Haha. Said 2 birds with 1 stone. I went ahead and got my trail mix and my tape. Cranberry heavy. All right. Got my trail mix. I'll set you right there for a moment. This is my tape dispenser for my sublimation stuff. And I want to see if using heat resistant tape will affect this in any way, but this way my interfacing won't move. Good, it's almost done. This is a really cool dispenser that I got off Amazon. You put your rolls of tape here, and when you turn the wheel, it actually cuts it into little pieces for you. Goodness. So that should help. Come on, you're almost done. There we go. Okay. As always, I am live streaming this on my YouTube as well. So if you need to go back and watch it. I hear you. Good. Nope. Yeah, because the problem is sometimes you're especially with a bound bag, you really want to make sure that your interfacing doesn't shift too much. Here we go. Always lose a little bit of space here. Okay. So see, you can kind of see a little bit of this bump. That's an air pocket. Now you can, there's a couple of ways. You're not going to see that. That's not going to be affected. There's a couple of ways you can deal with this. You can either iron over that section and it'll kind of stick it down a little bit. You can trim down your seams behind it and that'll help it, or you can glue down that seam and you won't have that air pocket. Honestly, I've never, like I said, I haven't had any issue with it. I usually do end up pressing it sometimes if it bothers me. Set that down. Mainly I want to make sure that the tape isn't affecting anything. Oh God. You go have a plan. All right, so I've got my everything taped down. I'm just there we go. No, you don't. What are you doing? Okay, so I can put this away. I won't need that. I shouldn't need that again. And I think you're supposed to use Decovil Heavy. I use light with vinyl, and that's because I did one with Decovil Heavy, and I had to take arthritis medication as well as put arthritis cream on my hands and put them in. And my husband ended up having to like work on them a little bit because they just wouldn't unclaw. It was so, because it's a tiny bag. It's a wee little bag. It is not a very big bag. It's one of the reasons why I like it so much. Okay, so now I've got that. So there's my gusset. There's the fun panel. Now this would be the side that would have a zipper on it. I'm not doing the zipper. I make these for, these are what I call a quick sew. And that's because I don't really do any zippers on the inside. Hi. Hi, Katie. I don't do anything on the inside. It's just one big bag. It does have card slots, which I might do sometime soon, but not for this convention probably. But it's pretty much just one pocket inside, but you've got the little pocket on the outside. Okay, so I do have that. It didn't shift because I used tape, and the tape didn't seem to do anything except what it was supposed to. So huzzah. That could have gone poorly. It did not, so I am happy. I have my little heater on my feet. So I'm happy there because it is just a little chilly. All right, scissors, come on. Because of how much I use my edges for things like my seam allowance and how the shape comes out, sometimes I get anxious cutting out fabrics and things like that, cutting out the pattern pieces, because I'm like, oh God, but what if I don't cut that line straight? And heart palpitations. All right, so I've got a good chunk though left over, which means I'm going to use this to update my pattern notes. Something. Ta-da! Okay. I better do that before I forget. Where are you at? Oh, you know what? I think that's a good idea. Where are you? Bear with me for a moment. I'm making choices that I should have made before. And then re-choosing those choices. There we are. One more thing I need to get. Ah, there you are. Yeah, so I've got all the bend and snaps, the regular ones done. Now I'm just going to be working on, after this, the Dragon Con specific ones. Alrighty, and I don't want to forget to do this. was like, where are my snips at? They fell down. Just curving the corners on my name tag here. I can't even see the flame on this. Gotta get a new, you know what? Lighter ran out of fuel. Sorry, just kind of double checking. Make sure everybody's, if anybody's got any questions. Come on. Sometimes my nails do not help me. There we are. And sometimes it's just the bag. Okay, because I do like to make sure that I have everything set up. So you're going to go to the side for the moment. Actually, it's coming back for a second because I'm just going to go ahead and put my tag. I don't know if I want to put it there. Or if I just want to put it in the seam. Kind of like the thought of that. We'll put that there for right now. So, dang it. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. So, Carol, I don't, for my machine, I generally use Tech 70. I haven't tried, I don't think I've gotten a chance to try anything higher than that. It's either than 70 or 69. Like the thread that I'm using right now, the rainbow variegated, it's from Saya Swag, so it's a Tech 70. Mainly, I do make sure I have proper needles, which I use. What are these? I use a size 19 for just about everything that I sew. It's kind of, it feels like a nice sweet spot so that it's not too big of a hole, but it can still go through a lot. I do like the polyesters for sure. I highly recommend, even if you're on a domestic or a semi-industrial, that when you sew with bags, you do not sew with cotton. Cotton has a chance to break down over time. Cotton is, you know, supposed to be good for clothing, but bags are not clothing. So let's see. The green is actually, yeah, it's a panel. So this was in the middle of the panel, and then I was actually able to get my top piece, my slip pocket, and the gusset and zipper out of the rest of the pieces. The only thing I had to cut out of a different vinyl was the flap, and it's so cute. I love it. I love this pattern so much. So you said that your machine hates 70. Does it like other, like higher, or does it need to be lower? Like, which kind of machine do you have? Yeah, quilting thread tends to be cotton mostly. All purpose is sometimes a cotton blend. But anytime you can get your hands on polyester, especially for bag making, I highly recommend it. It stands up a little bit more. There we go. So for my straps, I measure between uh, 25 and 30 inches, and then I fold it in half and pull it all the way up, and then use that to measure out up to 60 inches. I have found that 60 inches is a good sweet spot for just about everybody, because anybody that is really tall or round, I'm round, will have trouble with straps if they're not long enough, obviously. Okay. I have this fun rainbow webbing. I think it's going to be really cute with this bag. It's all bright colors. And all right, let's see. You are going to go over there, and then I'm going to pick out a nut and cranberry. The cranberries in this trail mix are very tart, so it's kind of nice to have something tart instead of just sweet. Okay. Everything's always in my way. So what I do for webbing is I'm going to put it on here, and then to kind of secure that ring more, instead of going across the bottom or the bottom of the ring, I actually go just straight up the middle. Can you hear me? Let me see. With my Bluetooth. Oh my God, technology, right? I had problems with my iPad the other day, just like not wanting to play sound. I'm like, what are you doing, iPad? I realized that the cat had knocked over my AirPods, and one of them had fallen out, so it had connected. And the last time I had connected my AirPods that day was to my iPad. So of course it's like, you want to do this? And I'm like, no, that's not what I want to do. Why are you over there? I got my scissors going everywhere. I still haven't found that bobbin that the fairy took the other day, by the way. I don't know why they're so angry. So, yep, just sewed straight up the middle, and it secures it nicely. Good morning. Really connects to your car. As long as you're not listening to a spicy book and you forget that you're listening to a spicy book, and you get in the car with your mother and it automatically plays what you were playing last on your phone. Awkward conversations for a moment there. I'm like, Mom, come on. You know I listen to this nonsense. You're fine. So yeah, I just sew straight up this line, and it secures it nicely, and it secures the whole thing. And the nice thing is because it goes right up as far as I can go, that's usually going to be in the seam anyway. So you're really not going to see this line. It's just really to secure everything together. No. Awkward Awkward was them advertising Magic Mike as a comedy. That is not a comedy. And not giving a warning. I didn't mind the movie. I just would have liked a heads up. Because I went to see it with my mom. Neither one of us was prepared for that. Traumatizing dang events, Channing Tatum. Tell you. Yeah. Walk into work and they're like, "What are you listening to? Don't you pay no mind. You don't got to worry about what's in my ear. It's legal and necessary. That's all you got to know." Oh, now I got to find those. Ah! I know I cut them. Yeah, so is anybody else like messed up a bit by time change? It will be months. It's going to be like probably August by the time I'm used to this losing this hour, which annoys me. Because by the time I get used to it, then they're like, "Oh wait, we got a time change again." Don't mind me. I have to build my flavor bites. Oh, nice, Katie. That's going to be fun. So, my biggest tip I give everybody when they get a new industrial, when you don't want that needle to move, take your foot off the pedal. I say it like when you go to use the knee to move it, take your foot off the pedal. When you're looking away to grab something, take your foot off the pedal. When your cat comes running in to scare the tar out of you, you know, they've only stepped on the pedal once. Yes. Oh my God. Oh gosh. I didn't even think about a brand new serger having to do that. When I first got a serger, God, I was 13 with my first serger. I don't even remember the brand. I want to say it was a Kenmore. It was old because it was my grandmother's. You know, I wasn't allowed to have an easy bake oven because my grandmother told me there was a perfectly good oven in the kitchen. If I wanted to learn to bake, I could learn to bake that. Yeah, that Kenmore will never die. I wish I still had it. But, you know, ex-boyfriends and such. Make sure you have your stuff out of the house when you break up with some guys. Some people. So mine was just under $2,000 with shipping. And I'm lucky enough that my husband runs a U-Haul location, so I didn't have to have a commercial or a residential shipping. It was about $300 less for me to ship it to him. You can get a used one. Always keep an eye out. Facebook Marketplace, sometimes eBay. Just make sure, like on eBay, that you read and make sure it doesn't say head only, because then you got to figure out where to get a table. I know Sunny sewing machines they're great with customer service. So, and I can be a nervous person too. Believe me, it was 6 months of solid research. So solid, I had Tina Turner singing in the background, sound like a rock. But if you are nervous about spending that much money, honestly, I recommend getting it from a dealer. And that is because anything that happens, you have a better chance of being able to get it fixed or figuring it out instead of having to just figure it out on your own. $15.41. That is, whoo! That's a lot of machine. That one's for leather. I still want to get a little piece of leather to try out, but I'm afraid to go down that rabbit hole. I already bought a cover stitch machine that I have yet to use. I've heard a lot of good stuff about the sale rights. I believe Adam with Country Cow Design has a sale right that he works with. I know somebody recently in the So Whatever group got one too. So I bet if you look up sale right in the So Whatever group on Facebook, you'll find some posts about them. Again, I've heard really good stuff. And with an industrial, I just kind of like dove in. I figured out which one I wanted, which was this one. Ooh, where are you going? Because I wanted a computerized industrial. And it wasn't even that, I will be very honest, it wasn't that I saved up for it. It's that we came into a small inheritance. And when I say small, I mean it covered the machine. That's how small it was. But it was just a little bit of a windfall. So I was like, well, we could get this or this. And my husband handed me my laptop and said, order your machine. I'm like, well, he said, order your machine. I'm like, okay, fine. But we could spend it on this. Yes, just buy your dang machine. I do like that the So Whatever studio that Lauren has started has industrials, so that folks can try them out. Of course, So Magicals, Sonny's, I know he was there this last year, and I was able to try out the cylinder machine. And I will tell you right now, I was checking my PayPal account to see if I'd be able to take it home, and already texting my husband going, hey, do you think one of the U-Hauls would let us grab one of their trailers to borrow? Because My car can haul a trailer, which in turn can haul a sewing machine. Okay, what am I doing now? So, got my strap done. Is the flap? Yeah. Okay, so. Alrighty. I also wanted to do this bag because I figured it would be kind of a cute one. I should be able to get this done with the whole live today without any issue. Even with us being extra chatty today. Okay, so I have the slip pocket and the rough cut piece for the slip pocket. So together. I've actually gotten better about spoilers. I used to be really there was definitely toddler fits if somebody spoiled a movie for me. Because there's even a couple of movies that I haven't seen because somebody spoiled the ending for me. I was like, okay, who cares? But I've learned, I have come to realize that, the ending is only one facet of a story. How you get there also matters. And I have a bad habit of figuring out who's the villain and who in mysteries and things like that. I'm just flipping that over and top stitching. I'm going to trim off these sides. Dang it. Come on, you. Now you could baste this down and then cut it out, but I figure I'm already going to be basting it onto this anyway, so. I'm going to clip my centers. Okay. What's that? Okay. I'm just clipping my centers, making sure everything's going to line up nicely. Okay, let's see what we want to do. I'm going to line up my bottom center. Hope that actually lines up with the rest of the bag. Anytime you have a bound bag, pulling the pocket up a little bit, kind of giving like 1/8 of an inch in at the top, will help your pocket not to completely be too tight. You don't have to go overboard, just like a little 1/8 of an inch. You're not putting up too much in. Never knows looking on. Perfect body with a perfect face. Okay, so see. So it'll have that little bump. So what's going to happen is when it gets bowed, it's going to do this. So it'll tighten it. It's not going to be out that much, but you just want a little bit to push in a little bit. And I'm going to be using rivet magnets. So I actually do not have to put on my rivets until the very end. Okay, where you sealed that? So shiny. Okay. Trying to remind myself to only grab one set because I'm kind of now used to doing the bend and snap, so I'm used to grabbing 2 extra sets. Lord, nowhere. Okay, so we've got our pocket on and ready to go. I'm going to put this vinyl tag I have right here. And then I'm going to use my little sewing blurbs. This pattern is the Itty Bitty bowler bag from Sew Yours. So this is the shape of it. With some modifications. I'm not doing the outside zipper pocket because I have a really cute panel, but I am going to do the slip and the flap for it. Right now, I'm just kind of trying to see where that's going to go. Okay. So that will be fine right there. An extra clip there. Yeah, so yours has a couple of patterns that I want to get and do. I'm having to make sure that I remind myself that yes, there are great patterns that are coming out, but I also have, less than 6 months to get ready for Dragon Con, and I've already been freaking out about it. That's that. Alrighty. I guess I should double check and see. Most of this pattern is done with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but I just need to double check. Where did my... Duh. Where are you, flap? Bear with me for a moment. I'm just checking my pattern. Here you are, flap. Okay. Yep, 1/4 inch. Okay. Not sure where I'm supposed to be doing 3/8. Oh well. So now I'm going to do the flap. And I'm not sewing across the top. I'm just going to sew around the main body of it because the top's going to be put into the seam. And sometimes it's really important to do a seam allowance because of how something's going to fit. And this is a great example. Like I could just do a 1/4 inch no matter what, because, you know, I do what I want. The issue is that this top fits right into the seam. Oh, thank you. So Yours is the company that there's a couple of her patterns that I really want to do that I haven't had a chance. I've got like 7 on the docket. This is a new Tech GS0303. Okay. Oh, normally there's stabilizer here. This is a thick vinyl, as you can tell. So I didn't put a stabilizer on it. Okay, I just had a cranberry fall out of nowhere, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my fairy. Okay, I think that'll be fine. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do another line of stitching, but I think it'll be just fine without it, because I'm going to use my pinking shears to go around the whole thing. There we go. There we are. Boop. I'm going to need to put my wrists in the massager today. Yeah, I know. Okay, where's my heater at? I have a little like space heater down here. So I'm putting the vinyl kind of near it to warm it up a little bit. I don't think it did anything really, so. I mean, flaps are definitely the reason why you want to make sure that you backstitch really well at the beginning and end of it. But you also don't want to go overboard, because if you do, it could rip what you're working with. Speaking of, really? It did indeed. You little bugger. Okay, so teachable moment, as always. So that happened. That is my nail going through part of my seam. Because, oh, thank you, Annie. I just got them done. I went with a Doctor Who set this time. So I've got the Dalek on my middle. But it looks like what happened is, because the thread isn't snapped, so somehow when I was sewing, my waterproof canvas scooched out the way for some reason or another. So I just have to go over that part. So I'm going to try to go straight back into the same lines here. That should do it. I will say sometimes, every once in a while, that happens when I'm not the shifting, but the fabric pushing through. It just means I got too close when I was trimming it. All right. But that's why I'm tough on the seams when I'm turning stuff out, because I want to make sure that that's not going to affect it. Might have to go in a little bit. You little bugger, you really did do that, didn't you? Oh, okay. There we go. There were a couple of the loose threads from the waterproof canvas kind of sticking out. All right, there's my seam roller. So I'm going to kind of pull it back. Really trying to hit hard on that curve. It might be time for my gloves too today. I also could have slept on my wrist weird. Ooh, good Lord. Those words did not want to come out. Okay. Okay, so did a flap, a flippity flap. While when I'm going around, I'm trying to kind of pull up that lining a little bit. Really? I'm a little Mr. Sassy Pants this morning, sir. What's going on? There we are. Ta-da! A little flap. The bag I'm making today is from Sew Yours. It is the Itty Bitty bowler bag. So this is the little flap that's going to go on it. So the outside has a flap closure slip pocket. Just trimming off the excess, and I'll mark my centers. Do not want to do that, and I know I don't. Arg. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Nice. Okay. Ta-da! Nope, not got it. why it does that every once in a while. It just makes me verify things. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. Now we've got the little flap. Like I said, because I'm using rivet magnets, I can take care of this at my leisure, adding on the magnet to hold it down. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and get it taken care of now. I say that because of how close to the bottom the magnet is. CamSnap rivet magnets are amazing. They are strong. I have not seen, I put them on my NCWs, have not had any complaints. I had an NCW for the longest time with the magnets. It doesn't desensitize your credit cards. This bunch I got off of Amazon, and they work. They're just not as strong as CamSnaps. Highly recommend it. They're so nice. Okay. Where's my punch? Punchity, punchity, punch, punch, punch. I'm like, now I'm thirsty because I'm talking about punch. Of course so. Yeah, the ones that yeah, they call them bag button clasps. Is that the right thing? Yeah. And the ones I got came in this case with a nice little variety. With bronze, gold, nickel, and black nickel. I don't trust these on my wallets because I want the wallet to really securely stay closed. But I do trust them on other bags. If it's not if it's not holding a bunch of stuff together, like the Rowena that's coming to knotted threads, the side looks like it's held in by magnets. I wouldn't trust it on that. Oh my God, Barbie Girl is playing. That's funny. I think what I'm going to do is punch the holes. Let's see if I can get this to work without having to unclip. Lord have mercy. It's 3 clips. Alrighty. So that's my middle there. Let me see if it actually marked. Yep. Touch. You can play. You can say, I'm all yours. Okay, that's not too bad. All right. So I fold my... I rarely use the measurements in a bag's magnets, mainly because of the fact that I am so paranoid about them actually not sitting where I want them to sit. Where's my ruler? There it is. Three. Like at this point, I'm actually holding the punch so I can make sure that it's in the middle. Okay. But that's because, like I said, I'm just paranoid. Oh, yeah. It looks like it's going to be an in-depth bag. And I do say that about pretty much all of her bags. I've got the backpack I haven't tried yet, and I really want to. So I'm very excited for the Rowena. Mainly because I'm going to need another bag soon. Why did I put that away? Okay, so I've... You know, even if you're not using rivet magnets, this would be a great place. You would still be able to add pronged magnets. Because like I said, I don't have anything basted down particularly. So somebody asked me, like a friend of mine was like, hey, I want to do the Aries. How hard is that? I'm like, okay, listen. It's a complicated bag, but it's also not a complicated bag. You're going to cut out all these pieces. You're going to be like, holy crow, this is going to take forever. And then suddenly you're going to be done. As long as you follow the instructions, you will be able to make this bag. Which I do love the Aries. It's so cute. My only problem with the Aries is it's just a smidge, it's just a touch too small for me because I have a big wallet. Now, my classic zip around wallet might fit in there better. Oops, where are you going? Let's see if today Liz will screw that up. Oh, yes. Where are you at? You know, I have thousands upon thousands of Peltex scraps everywhere. I know I have them everywhere. What happens when I need them? They disappear. That's fine. That's fine. Fine. It's fine. We'll just use in a pinch. If you need thicker than just like Decoville Heavy, you can also use a piece of vinyl. I have these scrap pieces because I'm going to put a piece in between this flap. It just feels still a little thin, even with this bleeding thick vinyl. I'm so glad Backstitch went with a light because this is like thick. It's like I like my milkshakes. Oh, where are you going? I have a lavender and twine pattern. I have not had a chance to make it. Good morning, Charlie. No, that's not for you. I don't know what those would do to you, and I do not wish to find out. Good morning. You woke up from sleeps. You're too young to have an old man sleepy face, though. How are you? Oh, cool. Just gonna, oops. You know what would help is when you punch a hole through everything, that you actually put the rivet through the whole thing. There we go. Ta-da. We just need to... Oh, no, Bath and Body Works. I do not need exclusive VIP status and to know about a Bridgerton collection. Please and thank you. I just spent money there. Oh, no, that's not the good place for the puppy. It sounds like a very bad idea. See, I at one time set off the foot. She did not like that. Okay, come on. Yes, I know. I could just take the bloody thing off. Okay. There we go. There we are. And even better now is that, boop. Yay! Oh gosh, this is going to be so cute. Now I do try, again, you have to, anytime you do a bound bag, you have to consider that it is going to pull the outside in. So it is going to take those pieces and it's going to bend it a little bit. So it's going to make that outside part tighter. So you want to kind of have this little bump here too. Okay. Kind of bumps out just a smidge right there. And that's going to let your flap have a little bit of push up. So when you put stuff in there, it can expand a little bit. Now, I actually did forget that because I'm like, oh crap, I did kind of forget about that, didn't I? So I'm just pushing my flap down just a smidge. You don't want to go too overboard doing that, mainly because of the fact that we do have a small seam allowance on this. Just trying to make sure that it's nice and even. With the way you work it, on bag it up. All right. Now what I'm going to do is grab my random insides. There we are. So as you can see, it's just a rough cut. I did not do any of the inside, so I didn't do the card slots or the slip pocket. I think it's going to have enough with the outside slip pocket, and it's a small bag. The card slots are not a bad idea. I just kind of forgot about them because I usually don't do them. Oh, let me put this up. Little dude, your butt is in my way. Did you know that? Did you realize that your butt is in my way? It usually is in my way. Okay. There we go. So at this point now I'm just basting everything on. And I'm going at like a scant 1/8. That is because when I put the bag together with the gusset, I do a 1/8 and then I put my binding on with the actual seam allowance. This way it's tacked on, but I'm not having to fight to make sure that my seam allowance looks really good. Alrighty. Set that aside for a moment. Do this one because it doesn't need anything else. With the Wonderground waterproof waterproof canvas, the soft, silky, shiny side is your right side. Thought about using foam or fleece instead of Decoville light, and I think I will try that on the next one. Just give it a little bit of floofiness. Like, I almost didn't do any on this bag because this vinyl is a very stiff vinyl. You know, you make my nose itch sometimes. Okay. It's mainly because he likes to really sit out there. He loves to watch all the birds and that. So if I don't have the back door open for him to go on the porch, or I don't have the front door open for his little hammock, then he has to come in here and remind me of his existence and that I'm a bad kitty mommy because I didn't do these things for him. Isn't that right, baby? It's not that I give you all the love and attention you could ever be able to handle. Okay, so there's one panel done. And this is why I just do a rough cut, because, I mean, now I'm going to have to trim down some stuff anyways. And it means I can pull it taut if I need it. It's going to fit a lot better for me if I do that. I do remember now the reason didn't mean to do that. Come on, you. The reason that I didn't do the flap measurements on these is the first time I made it, I did follow those measurements, and I had this part pulling down, like it would kind of pull up a lot, and it just it made it a little difficult. Little man, where is your collar? Hi, I'm making the itty bitty bowler bag by Sew Yours and trying to figure out how fast Amazon can get me some new collars. Because if I don't bell him, I don't know who to yell at. Because if something crashes and I hear his bell running as he's running away from the scene of the crime, was that necessary? Where is your collar? You are a pain in my butt, little man. And there's the other side. It's got a little slip pocket, and then I've got my little tag right here. I really like that placement. I'm going to have to remember that. Nope, I'm not going to remember that. I know that. Where's my book? Forgive me, y'all, for a moment. I have got to... There we go. Because if I don't write it down, I'm never going to remember it. Psst. Where is your collar? What? You know exactly where your collar is. Oh, snap. I thought I plugged that in. There you were. Ooh, that was close. Really works when you can keep your laptop charged by actually plugging it in. So, okay, so that side's done too. So there's the zipper tabs. There's a zipper I decided on. I'm just trying to decide if I like that or not. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay. We'll be doing anytime. Alrighty. Because I can trim that off. Okay. I was trying to decide if I wanted to have this bit of white that's on the edge under the zipper or not, but if I don't catch it, I can trim it off. I can fix it if it's not a part of the zipper tape side of it. Salvage. That was the word I was going to try to use. Doggone it, tape. I'm going to keep them separated. You're going to stay right there, huh, kiddo? Okay. So I have this piece of salvage here that I made sure when I cut it that it wouldn't have too much, like it wouldn't be more than 1/4 of an inch. Well, I don't really want to put the zipper on that side because of the fact that if it doesn't, if something goes wrong and I don't cover all that white, I can't fix it on the zipper side. I can if this is the zipper side and this is the other side, because I usually trim it down anyway. Oh, no. I completely understand. Never have to apologize for snark in this area. I'm always okay with snark. Okay, come here. However, you're going to mark our zipper ends. Because then I'm going to split my zipper so that I can do these at the same time and chain stitch them. Yeah? You done? Stretching, huh? Actually, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's also really funny because on one of my bend and snaps, it's a Beetlejuice one. And I couldn't really figure out which zipper pull I wanted on the outside accent pocket. So I was like, okay, because I didn't really have anything I thought would match greatly. And then I saw that I still have some Never Ending Story ones that have the Ouroboros. Or Borealis? I feel like I'm mixing things. The little snake necklace, if you've seen it. And so I used that because it's got the snakes on it. So I figured it would work well enough. And I have had a couple people go, isn't that from Neverending Story? And my first thought when somebody asked me that was, oh, I know. Atreyu was traumatizing me well before some of y'all were even born. So, yes, I do know that's from Neverending Story. However, the snakes also match all the stuff that goes with Beetlejuice. And most folks that like the Beetlejuice that I chose for it, because it's kind of an animated cartoon, is also going to be like, probably no Neverending Story as well. It was just I got traumatized way before I should have been by that movie. Alrighty. So by splitting my zipper, I'll be able to just kind of chain stitch these and then put them together at the end. But that's because I'm confident in putting zippers on and having them match up. If you're still kind of trying to get that type of thing under your belt, this is a good bag to practice that on because it's a very short zipper. I wasn't kidding. This is a tiny bag. It is itty bitty is definitely the proper term. I won't rewatch it. It's like every once in a while I see it like pop up on one of my streaming stations or something, and I'll think I should put this on, and then I have like reoccurring memories of a tray, and I'm like, okay, nope, I can't. I'm also a little afraid to rewatch it, you know, because some of the things we loved as children, they ain't good. They are not good. I loved Thundercats, adored Thundercats. I can't do it. I can't rewatch it. Because the voice acting is good. That's not the thing. Well, except for Snark. That little, God, that character. The OG cartoons like that just, they hurt. They hurt a lot. And I was a big She-Ra fan, and somebody pointed out to me that all the bodies look exactly the same, and I'm like, you know, anytime somebody says like something that kind of goes with that, I kind of have to, you'll hear me go, oh. The new He-Man that Kevin Smith did on Netflix, I haven't watched the latest season, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I know a lot of people would throw some money at a certain company if they were to bring back gargoyles. It's just what folks don't understand is that sometimes, you know, it's Pet Cemetery. Sometimes dead is better. And sometimes cartoons are left just best in your memories. Now, I watched Slash Unicorn just a couple months ago. That thing still stands up in my head. It still stands up, but that's because it's got great music and some good writing choices. I guess I could have done both of them at the same time, huh? Okay, so I found my peoples. So with the X-Men 97, I'm very okay with the fact that I'm even more okay with the fact that they're continuing the story, you know. The problem I have is that it feels like they went into somebody, you know, Bill Gates' like closet and got out the old Max to animate it. I'm just hoping that's, you know, terrible trailers cut poorly, but it just, yeah, I'm like, come on, y'all. There's no need for that. You can definitely do a better job than what I'm seeing. I'm just glad that they're bringing back Storm with the mohawk, because I freaking loved her hair then. God, I might have to. Oh God, I don't know if I can go back and watch it because I can't remember if Kitty Pryde was in it. That was my favorite X-Men. She was the best. But her story and everything came out when I was about her age too, so I connected with that type of thing. Feeling different, not understanding what's going on with my body, because nobody ever does. I mean, I'm a grown-ass woman. I still don't know what's going on with my body. It does what it wants. All right, so that's the zipper panels. Boop. I just gotta put them together. All right, where are you? Where is the other one? Because I love my one from Mormino. But y'all, look what my husband printed for me. It's a zipper jig. It's a little zipper helper. There we go. There's the zipper. And see, that's why I made little marks on the back, though, so I didn't have to worry about marking my zipper panels. Okay. I think that's going to be... This way, when I put the zipper on, I look for those marks. Right. Now I have to just make sure. Oh, that is way off, though. That's not going to work. Okay. There we go. Ta-da! But maybe marking those centers would help me a little more. Because I put them on so that my marks would match and my zipper panel was way off. But I didn't, as you can see, I didn't leave the zipper pull attached. Morning! I am making the itty bitty bowler from So Yours. Right now I need, there you are. Should fit fine. Yep, that works. Okay, so then, excuse me, goodness. Okay, so bear with me for a moment. I'm going to trim this. Oh, where are you and why are you in my way? Oh, I guess I could have done the yellow. Nice. All right. My cutting table is a nightmare right now. There we go. It's a wee little thing. Okay. So what I do before I put my zipper pull permanently on is I take it over to the cutting area and I use my zipper. I take half of the length of my gusset and that's the mark I put over the zipper. And this way I have a nice, clean, straight edge. And I wasn't kidding. I mean, this is not a very long or wide bag. See, it's not meant to be, which is something I I keep going, well, what if I can widen it? I'm like, it's not meant to be a wide bag, Liz. Just leave it alone. Cut that down right now so I have a clean edge. I'll put my zipper on. Go. Okay, so, and because it's such a small bag, I'm only using one zipper pull. It seems unnecessary to have two. My everything is a nightmare. Oh, yeah. I was redoing my plugs over down by my trash can. And it is a hot mess down there. And I'm like, no, I don't have time to do this. I have to get online. I am making the, I'll be making mistakes here in a minute if I don't think about this. Here we go. I'm making the Itty Bitty Bowler Bag by Sew Yours. Hey, Charlie, you come back? Let me move my stuff. Where are you going? Come on. Ugh. He uses my shoulder to get down. Yeah, it's such a fun, bright print. I really wanted to make sure that everything had that fun with it. And I went with mainly that's what, most of the time, that's how I choose my hardware is by choosing the zipper. And that's because I'm low on zip tape right now. I really have got to order some more zipper tapes, just some simple colors. All right, come on, you. Hey, little buddy, your tail is really, really making me nervous. So if it could go somewhere else, that would be great. No, calm your tail down. So now I'm gonna baste on my my D-rings while holding his tail so that I don't sew over it. It is something that hasn't happened and I would like to keep that a record. I love you, buddy boy. What is going on with you today, huh? You got something in your nose? Hear you sneezing all morning, huh? Okay, hold your tail out of the way. feel like I'm competitive sewing here because I'm having to hold his tail and sew and make sure it's on straight. Yeah. Hey. Thank you, little buddy. And then you lick my... Why did you lick my ring? Huh? Are you bending the knee? I mean, I would doubt very much so if you actually were bending the knee and would keep it. You're a treacherous little thing, you know that? I know you'll sell me out for treats. Mommy understands, though. Trimming down my zipper just a little bit, kind of to stay in line with the D-rings. I just like that little bit of extra zipper. Don't think it's going to need that. Okay. Okay, so you go back in here. I need to cinch this zipper end. Okay, so now we've got that completely ready to go. I am going to, now see, this has got a little curve, so it's going to have these little pieces on the side that you'll have to trim off. Maybe I'll show you here in a moment after I pin this down. Let me see. So the piece curves in, so you'll have little pieces here. Ooh, what am I going to do for lunch today? I don't know. I think I might still have a roll that I can make a sandwich with, and I know I've got some fries. All right. Dangerous. You're making a weird noise there, buddy. You okay? I guess I could have used the hump jumper there. Okay, so I sew at the same time, both of them. Yes, they are. He knows the word treat. He also knows where I keep them. Or where I used to keep them because somebody broke 2 canisters. I can't let him see what type of container the treats are in because otherwise he will go up there and push it down. I do see that. Where are you at? What are you sniffling about over there? Come on, I know I've got a piece somewhere. There we go. I have a little scrap bin where I keep like pieces about this big that I cut off so that I can clean off silver marks if I need to, or clean my earbuds. There we go. Just cleaning off some silver marks. This is just whiteboard and dry erase board liquid cleaner. I bought it about 6 months ago. Actually, probably a little longer than that. The only reason it's down this far is because I have a bottle on my cutting cart where I put about this much into it. So and that's still half full as well. So it does last quite a long time. You don't snakey need a lot. And it does take silver marks off really nicely. You just want to make sure to test in a small area so that you know it's safe for your vinyl. So I'm pulling everything nice and tight. And where are you at? I'm going to use the hump jumper with a thinner side. It'll be fine. Hump jumper to the rescue. That is not a toy for you, little man. That's a toy for me. Leave it alone. Yeah, so going over this chunk right here can be a little bit difficult because, and I'm using webbing there, so, but now I've got nice clean ones because when I'm coming back, because sometimes coming down the hill needs a little bit help, so that's where you want to level the playing field the most. Either going up or down helps a lot. All right. God, it's such a tiny gusset. Why? Why do you have to play with everything over here? Just leave it alone, okay? It is not a toy for you. Alrighty. Oops. Make sure your hardware is out of the way. Remember with this one, you're not really pinning from corner to corner. You're clipping with the middle marks. Okay. Name is JD. I do again rough cut my gusset as well, and I cut my gusset a little bit longer by like 1/8 of an inch. When I do waterproof canvas, and that's because it really doesn't have a stretch, so it doesn't like to it likes to kind of pull a little bit, and then it feels like it's not fitting right. You leave Mr. Boots out there alone. I'm trying to make friends with Mr. Boots. We have this kitty cat that he's all black except for the front of his muzzle of his nose and that little like cheekbone area. There we go. And his little paws. Like not his whole leg or anything, just the little like back area of the paw and then goes over. So it looks like he's wearing little like ballet flats. They're so cute. So I call him Mr. Boots. He reminds me of a cat I had when I was young that had very, very similar markings. Exact feet markings, but his white patch was like right up here on his forehead. He was also Mr. Boots. And that is because apparently as a child, I did not have much imagination when it came to names. Ghost was literally just an all white cat. Yeah, see how it fits just nicely on there now? And that's with that little 1/8 of an inch. If you're using cotton, you should be fine. It's just whenever you use waterproof canvas, it doesn't like to stretch, and it really doesn't like to pull down either. Okay, I'm gonna I'm going up that hill, so I'm using the thinner side of my hump jumper. Go over, and that pulls me up on even ground. And then right before I get to the end, when you see your foot start to dip either this way or this way, that's when you want to put the hump jumper either in front of it or behind it. My husband's like, what is it called? I'm like, it's a hump jumper. He's like, is that really what it's called? You're not just being... I'm like, I'm not just being weird. It's called a hump jumper. He's like, I'm going to call it a sewing bridge. I'm like, what is your problem with hump jumper? He's like, it sounds weird. He's like, I don't understand it. It was pretty funny conversation. Okay. Ta-da. So what I'm going to do now is, because if I don't, they are going to give me a hassle. I'm going to baste around. If you are concerned with your cat being a meanie pants, if you are concerned with it getting twisted, you can definitely baste it down going the same way. Because of that extra bit, I know it's not going to affect it. Plus, the other thing is you're going to be sewing it back right anyways when you put it on. And I went ahead and did my zipper panel while I was at it. Sorely tempted to go get like some mac and cheese. I've been craving mac and cheese lately. I get more likes when you get on the camera, so that's why I put up with your pretty butt. Okay, there we go. Oh. Yeah, this time change really does it drains me, because my body wants me to get up earlier than I think I should be. And it's just this war with my mind and my body because my head's going, no, it's 4:45. We don't have to get up yet. And my body's like, no, it's 5:45. We should have already been up. At least when you fall back, you kind of get that little bit of extra time. Like you're like, oh God, I'm running late. Oh wait, I'm not, because I'm actually early. Yay. Whereas when spring comes around, we're like, ugh. Just kind of, I really don't understand why we still have this. Because I know why it was created. It was created to help farmers with their crops and that, because in spring, that's when all the planting time came about. And you really wanted all the light you could get. And all I'm thinking is just get up earlier then. Or get up differently. In the fall, in the spring, you get to sleep in extra. You know, it confuses me. That's all. I know. I'm just so carbunkled at this point. I'm very off kilter for a few months, and Yeah, my husband's definitely feeling it. And that's honestly, the other thing is that we went to bed way late on Sunday. So now his schedule, and last week's schedule was way different. This week's schedule is different too, because he's going to be off tomorrow. Which, it's not that I mind, it's that I've got a schedule. So now I have to figure out what I'm going to be doing, because Sunday's normally my day off as well. I try not to do much on Sunday work related. I mean, that doesn't happen because when you're a small business owner, you kind of work all day, every day, all the time. There we go. Had to pop my arm. Okay, so we have a gusset. And yeah, I do like that color. It's kind of a salmon-y. Salmon is slamming. Boop. Righty. Okay, so normally I do the front of the bag first. And I consider a panel the front. However, with the extra addedness of having the pocket and everything, I kind of want to do this one first so that I'm not fighting it and the other side at the same time. So I'm going to match up my centers. Strong dreams can come true. And what I usually do is put a couple of clips on the bottom just to kind of start that line out. I have a feeling I'm going to need those. Alrighty. I'm just going to go around and clip where it needs to. Because normally what I do is, I will say that just about every bound bag I do, every round bag like this, I tend to add a little bit of length to either the zipper or the gusset. And that's because I don't like how tight of a fit it comes into most of the time. And that's a personal choice. The creators created it the way they wanted, with how tight they want it, and that's fine. I just don't like sewing that tight. Because even with clipping, sometimes it is too much of a pain. But you have to be wary of if you add too much. Because see, like this bump here, that's going to have to be kind of maneuvered into it. Sometimes that's the vinyl that's stretched a little bit, or your fabric stretched, or you cut a little bigger on some things. Either way, you want to take note when your gusset is too large. It's not hard to fix, but I will say a tighter gusset is easier to fix. Okay, there we go. It's just about maneuvering it. But if I keep having too much trouble with a larger gusset, like it's just not wanting to fit properly, I'll make note of that so that I don't adjust things. But that's why I do a pattern written the way it is the first time. I want to make sure that everything's going to fit right. There we go. Sorry. Sometimes it's a little easier to clip when it's close to me. Come on. You done, sir? Thank you. You didn't have to lick my arm as you left, but I appreciate it, I guess. Don't you go attack your sister. You leave her alone. Christ almighty sometimes. What he'll do is if I pet his sister, Tiamat, and I don't pet him again before I leave them, I'll hear her hissing at him because he's gone over to attack her. It's like, dude, leave her alone. What's wrong with you? Okay. Ta-da! All right, so we're going to get a big bite. I'm going to get my trusty screwdriver. Oh. Boop. Okay, so I sew with the gusset up on the first go around. And I usually open my zipper so that it's a little bit easier on the zipper panel, especially with this skinny of one. Okay. I start on the bottom, about in the middle. Get my threads out the way. And I'm doing 1/8 of an inch first. Damn it. Okay. Just a second. I'm going to see. Sadly, I don't think... Maybe. Well, I don't want to block you either. So. Okay. After. Oh, wait. There we go. Maybe that'll be a little better for y'all. For trying to move it so that you can see, especially on the YouTube replay. Okay. So I'm using the I don't use a stiletto. I've broken too many of them. And I literally mean I've snapped at least one in half. And it was not a cheap stiletto. So Lauren Mormino came out with these little screwdrivers. They're rainbow. They're pretty. They're useful too. So I have... And I like the sharp points on it. It's not sharp, but it'll grab when I really need it to hold in place. So I've got my screwdriver, 1/8 inch seam allowance. And then this is kind of why I don't staple my curves anymore. If you do, that's fantastic. I mean, you do what you've got to do for you. But with the screwdriver, I can maneuver it a little bit better if I don't have it stapled down. And what I'll do is I'll lift up my foot too when I need the sewing foot, when I need it to kind of move even more, shift it even more. When I do that, like right now I'm stopped, my foot is off my pedal. Too many times I'm like, oh no, it'll be fine. And it wasn't fine. Literally hear Morgan Freeman going, but she was wrong. It was not fine.
this isn't a bad place if something were to happen, like you overshoot, but you really don't want to have to worry about fixing that seam. But like I said, that is like I had said earlier, because somebody has a industrial on the way. I'm like, the first thing I tell everybody when they get that industrial, learn to take your foot off the pedal when you're not sewing something. When you're not actively wanting that needle to move, take your foot off. It helps a lot, and it keeps you from accidentally sewing something you don't want to sew yet. Go to bed early and I party all night. Oh, I'm like, what's that smell? The heater, if my socks get too close to it, they start to kind of, I'm not going to say singe, but the dust motes from my socks go into the heater part of it, the heating coils. And it's not like terrible, and it's not going to catch fire. My husband claims this. So I trust that he is correct on that. But it is still a little unnerving anytime I smell something that doesn't smell like it belongs. Like even the coffee maker sometimes in the morning, I'm like, what does that smell? Are you kidding me? Where? All right, y'all, me and the machine right now are not friends. Because it didn't sew any of that because my bobbin ran out here when I started. You are a mean machine. You know that? I can use white. It'll be fine. I cannot believe you let me sew all the way over here. It sewed this much before the bobbin ran out. So now I have to sit here and unclip and reclip all of this. You know what? I'm going to try something. I mean, it's probably going to be a terrible, terrible idea, but I'm still going to try it. Because Miko Crafts, I've seen him, he doesn't really like pin anything. He just goes around, but it's bothering me. Just the thought of it's bothering me. But I'm going to try that for a hot second and see how well that works. I cannot believe you did that to me, Tiberius. I've been nothing but good to you. I thought maybe it didn't catch. You better be stitching this time. I don't want people to witness what I will do to you. I'm just making sure that it's, I don't want to do this again. Oh, Bobbin. Oh, Tiberius, I thought we were friends. So I can already say that this isn't my favorite method. Not clipping at all and just kind of going around. So far, it's working pretty well. Oh, making me do this again. What time is it anyway? Oh, it's only 10:15. That's not too bad. Where are you going? Yeah, see, and now I don't like how this is fitting here. Oh, I am displeased at the moment. See, the thing is that I wouldn't have known if this would have worked if I didn't try it. And while I'm very not like ecstatic, because I'm having to move more things than I want to. Now I know that is not a method. Hey, little man, I want. Do you want me to go open the back door? Is that what I need to do? Huh? Do I need to take a little break and go open the back door? Come on. Come on, because you've been in here like 500 times today. Come on. Yeah, Mommy finally did something right and opened the dang door for you. Ow, mother deals. I think if I jam one of my nails one more time. Good morning, honey. How are you? Had to go let the kitty cat out and find some binding that I wanted to use. That's another thing about this bag. Because it's this small, you're able to use scraps. Like this is technically a scrap. It would only do one side of most of the bags I would need it for. But it'll do both sides on this, and I think these stars will be pretty. This is gross grain ribbon at 1 inch. I'm just taking my pinking shears and going along the edge. But I'm also going to singe, just kind of run my lighter over it real lightly. And that's just in case there's any flyaways. but it is sealed on both edges, so it won't fray. Missed the great bobbin catch, or you might have seen it. I don't know, man. It made me so mad. Oh, that's the pocket is. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so then I seal that up. I'm going to set that aside for a moment. Let you stay. And I'm going to run a piece of 1/2 inch double-sided tape along the inside of my binding. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and do both of them. And I try to get down the middle as best as possible. Been thinking about getting some 3/4 inch tape to try. The way I use the 1/2 inch, I don't generally sew through it, which is good. I'm trying not to sew through all of it. My machine can handle it. However, as you can see, he's also testy sometimes and doesn't even make a noise when the freaking bobbin dies. Can't believe you did that to me, buddy. I thought we were friends. Alrighty. So for those of us joining, I am doing the Itty Bitty Bowler Bag by Sew Yours. I've just put the gusset on one side, and now I'm going to bind it. And go through and make sure that everything's sitting properly. Because I did do an attempt of it where I didn't put any clips because this bottom part was pinned. What I do also is that when I put my binding on, I actually don't start it at the bottom. I start it on the side because you won't be able to see it. Oh, it's so cute. I love the little puppies. So I'm going to start here. I'm trying to go, I use the light to kind of see where the edge is. Actually, I have found that if I do found the corners sit the round corners sit a little bit better if I actually don't go on either flat side. I go on the edge, like this flat edge of it, where the thickness is. Living with you, wow, it was good. Good, good. If you try to put, it in the middle of it, see, maybe I'll call or write you a letter on the 4th of July. One of the things you definitely want to do is when you come around, you want to try to line it up with the other tape as well. All right, let's see how well that worked for me. Okay, and then I fold it over. Oh, you can see just fine. I'm going to do that and then do that. There you go. And I clip where I started, and then what I'm doing is I'm seeing where that seam is, and I'm pushing down. I skip the curve, which is a little bit, there we go. And I skip the curve and go past it and push down, and then I kind of work that corner, see? Now, this is why I've been tempted to use 3/4 inch tape, is so that that will stay sitting without the clips. This part's a little easier when you've got the other side done too. But again, I skip the curve and then do this one at the start of it and then kind of work that in. Binding takes practice. It also takes a willingness to it not being perfect. These top curves are okay. They don't really need a lot of extra. I'm going to get a longer cord though, so YouTube, I can move you over and get in a little bit closer. Come on. There we go. You always want to make sure that the side that's going to be down against your machine that you can't see is a little bit longer than the side you can see. And that's mainly because that means if you're catching the top and it's shorter than the back, then you're catching the back. Okay, so ta-da! All bound. Well, all put on. Alrighty, so now we are going to go in. Now I'm doing my seam allowance of 1/4 inch. Oh, that's okay. Sometimes we gotta sleep. This vinyl is from Backstitch Fabrics. The other side, which is a panel, is also from them. This is the crosshatch though. And then the flap has the smooth because I got the crosshatch in a D-stash. I saw it. I was like, oh, well, that's got to be mine. Alrighty. So I'm going to go at 1/4 inch all the way around. I am now have my gusset down. And that is because what I can do is what's called sewing in the round. And you'll see I'm able to get the bag to actually get into the shape I want it to be because of sewing this way. All right. Where's my screwdriver? Okay, because I am going to be going through and making sure that the binding is sitting where I want it. I'm kind of adjusting it. But see, I'm also then, I take my foot off my pedal, I lift up my knee, and I'm going to do a couple stitches. And then I'm going to lift up my knee again. Sorry, I'm going to knee lift, so I'm going to lift up my foot. Actually, it's kind of nice because this way you can see what I'm doing inside, and you'll kind of see that that's how I'm shaping the bag. And this is why I wanted to do, there you go. Wanted to do this side first because it has the flap and the pocket. And I feel like it's going to be definitely the thicker. So with it being the thicker side, it's going to be the heavier side. And it's going to be a little bit easier to do it when I'm not fighting with another layer, another side of the bag already on. All right. It also helps that I can control and feel where the pocket pieces are and everything. Make sure the flap hasn't decided to go AWOL and get stuck in the seam. That has happened to me before. So here's that curve, the other bottom curve. So I have one hand up here, and then I've got the other hand inside. And after every couple of stitches, I'm lifting the foot and moving the bag. Because what you can do, what I can do is, because I have I have my foot strength on there, is you can tug at this so that it goes where you want it to. All right, that side is done. Ta-da! There's a little bit of movement when I lift it out. It's going to stretch that in there. So it's not saggy. It's just a little loose. But honestly, it's not going to be a problem because it's such a small bag. But see, there it is with the little flap. And you see that it's pulled tight, that pocket. Remember, it had that that real big bump, and it doesn't anymore because of the fact that when you sew this, it squeezes it all together. It constricts it. Okay. And that's the bag. No, I'm kidding. We just got one more side. But this is definitely one of the reasons why I do my strap stuff first. Because I want to make sure that when I'm done fighting with this other side of the bag, that it's, oh, you can see just fine, that I'm not going to have to do something else. Also, I used to make sure that the color of my thread matched my binding because I was trying to hide it. Now I've decided that, just like my glasses, it's either invisible or brightly seen. Because see, when you open the bag, you're going to see all those little stars. And I'm not even worried about my bobbin thread being white instead of the rainbow, because this is the inside that you're going to see, not the top. And that's also why I start my binding on the side, because now you won't see that broken line down there. Erg. These are things that I have learned along the way. Just random stuff I figured out and went, huh, that might work. Bones, hun. Okay. All right. I got a clip. That is not going to work. Oh. Try not to go too far past my basting stitches, because that pretty much gives me my seam allowance. You know what? These are being a little bit of a pain in the butt. Here we go. Be careful if you use larger scissors to do your snipping, that you're not putting the scissor point too far. Like, try to match it up with your, I'll show you what I mean. So I'm not putting it, I'm putting the point right there and then snipping. Because if you go too far, did I already snip these? Nope. Okay. Because if you go too far in, now you've weakened past the seam. You really want to keep it within that seam. And to be fair, even if you don't really need it to be snipped, snipping it on the corners does help when you turn it out. If you are doing the circle bag, the Magdala from Ora Rosa, and you find your circles are not, it's just not coming out circly enough for you, spherical, will that work? When you do your first go around of tacking, go back in and snip all the way around it. And that's going to help to ease those seams a little. And then when you put your binding on, you're just going to be sewing past that. And now you still have that ease and it's bound, and it'll help kind of make your curve work a little better for you, because the Magdalene is just one gigantic curve. So I'm just going to clip it all. I'm going to sew once again with the gusset up. That's another reason I did the pocket and flap part first. Mainly because of the fact that I don't really think it needs that extra. Damn it. It's going to be a little bit easier to just sew. Otherwise, I have to squish it a lot more just to get it sewn right here. I'm already going to have trouble with that. It's kind of, there's good points to doing it this way and good points to starting with the panel, the flat side. Come on. No, you'll be fine. Like, see, I've got a little bit of bunching here, but once I push out, it'll spread it out where I want it to go. There, whoops. Coffee's almost done, which is good because then I can get some, I have some water ready to go. See, like, for some reason, I thought today was Saturday just now. And I don't know why. There's nothing that would indicate that today would be Saturday. Oh, yes, there is. I lied. My husband's off tomorrow. So because he's off tomorrow, my mind went for the next closest day. So not only is he off tomorrow, but I'm live, which I do lives on Saturdays as well. So I am live on a day that he is at work and that he will be off the next day. And I'm live. So it's enough of a, it's enough information that my mind's going, so it's Saturday. No, it's not Saturday. And I don't need it to be Saturday. I know a lot of y'all want it to be like closer to the weekend probably. But my weekends are just weird. There we go. Okay. Woo! Okay, so all I have for interfacing, by the way, on this bag right now is some Decoville light on the panels and some Decoville light on the gusset. I did not put any stabilizer anywhere else, any other stabilizer. And because of the binding, it's between the binding and the fact that the vinyl is it is a serious vinyl when it comes to Backstitch, which I think that's why they started doing the light, because I don't know how well all these layers of this vinyl would work on a domestic. I don't think it would go. I mean, y'all know your machines though, because I tell you right now, I would have tried. Okay, so once again, I'm at 1/8 with a full bobbin this time. So mean to me. Okay. I'm using my screwdriver to move everything. So I'm digging my screwdriver in above and then pushing this way. And that's another reason why I really like using this screwdriver, because it has just enough of a point. Hang on, I got to get this open. Okay. You see, now I definitely know it's not Saturday, because I would have made an inappropriate joke right there. Well, not an inappropriate, but definitely an over 18 joke. I'm reading. Okay. Okay. And that's why I'm using my hand, is to try to move it out of the way. Dang it. I see you. Yep. This is the place when you want to stop and refix something. So it's really hard to see. I'm so sorry. I chose bright green on top of bright green. But there is about, I'd say almost 1/8 of an inch going. This is vinyl. Where my fingertip stops is where the waterproof canvas starts. I don't like that. I want it all to match up. So I'm just going to kind of snip those. And that's another reason why I do 1/8 of an inch seam allowance when I first go around. I am just tacking this thing down. Okay. You see me kind of be a little aggressive with it. Go back just a little bit. And it's because I'm having to fight with the whole gusset. Come on. Because I don't want the gusset to go past the body, but I don't want the gusset to be. I would like them to be matched up as much as possible. I think that's how you get the best shape. Ugh. Okay. Because I can tell you right now, this basting is going on not very consistently, but I'm just making sure that, okay, good. But making sure that I'm not going over too far over the 1/8 inch seam allowance. I also know how my materials can handle squishing or tugging, or because like around the corner, I'm sitting there, I'm taking my screwdriver and I'm really pushing in these sides to get it to where I want to go, because this is what's stopping it from going around those corners without fight. This is going to be fun with the Carpet Royalty collection, because the zipper pulls for that are huge. Well, that was interesting. Oh, there's going to be clips everywhere. Just put those up. Okay. I thought I had a better grip on with the screwdriver, and it slipped. So I just scattered my my clips everywhere. Sorry about that. All right. I just need a little bit. Come on. Maybe it would have been easier to do the panel first. Oh, live and learn. Okay, there we go. This side is usually a little rough to do because I can't quite get my hand into the bag. Maybe I can, so sorry if I hit a camera. I feel like I'm doing some yoga here. Sewing yoga. Because you're not catching. Come on, I know you need to catch this. There we go. All right, let's see how that corner is. My nose starts itching. Oh, okay. All right. Because most of the time, my problem is my concern is making sure that everything was actually grabbed. All righty. So we have another side done. Well, another side ready for binding. Okay. I'm just kind of like messing with the corners. I'm just feeling around to make sure everything feels caught and tacked down. Again, this is definitely one of the biggest reasons why I do not sew at my finishing seam allowance. I start with a tacking seam allowance. Okay. Make sure it's nice and tight when I go around the curve. So get a good press down there, and then pull tight. And then again, I pull nice and tight here. Come on. Making sure it's going right where I want it. Oh my Lord, what's going on here? Okay. Oh, that's what's wrong. Okay. And see, that's what I mean. I line everything up so that it's a little bit cleaner there too. All right. And you can, of course, fold it under if you want that edge to be completely clean. I just, like I do a clip with my pinking shears and then just seal those edges. Okay, so I go before and then after the curve, and then I start in the middle and I start pushing down. You might still have a little bit of puckering, but you can work with that when you're sewing it. When you're going around, just with your screwdriver or your stiletto, just kind of press it in, and that'll help too. Right, so that's short, that should be fine. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, the cord for the camera for the YouTubes is too short. So I'll look at getting another one of those. I don't know why they would send you such a short cord. Okay, so I'm going to pull my threads to the side and hold them down. And once again, I'm going to sew at 1/4 inch. This is my finishing seam allowance. Okay, hang on too. I gotta. Where are you? It's easier with that sewn. Yep. Okay. Again, I've got my foot completely off my pedal as I've been messing with the bag and I don't want it to move. When binding curves, you are going to do better so with your finishing seam allowance inside with you sewing in the round. Are you serious? Come on. I am thinking about changing a little bit of the shape of the gusset. Shaped gussets kind of, and zipper panels can be annoying, which is funny because one of my favorite bags to sew is the Erica, and it has a shaped zipper panel. But that's because Alexis is amazing and doesn't make you sew extra curves. Stay. Okay, let's put that over there, and we are good. Now comes the fun part. Turning out this tiny, tiny bag. Yep. Oh my God, I know. I'm so sorry. I have the same problem. There's like 6 or 7 bags just from Aura Rosa that I haven't had a chance to really like wrap my hands around again. And she came out with that new bucket bag, and I'm like, stop, Alexis, please. I need a break. I'm like, take a vacation, woman. But I know even on vacation, her brain's a spinning. It's always a spinning. All right, so there's that and that. And now, it shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be too bad. Okay, we're gonna do this without the heat. Just gonna put you right there. Just gonna move everybody so you can watch me fight with this bag, so everybody can see. So I'm pushing in corners, so I'm widening my hand. Put in, widen, and push the corner into that, because then you can grab it and start to yank. Yeah, it really does feel like Saturday because I just have all the thoughts going on today. Okay, so push in here, push in here. You can see Muppet face. The smaller the bag when it's bound, the more challenging it is. So you just want to make sure that you're pushing this way. And the moment you can, get your zipper tape right there. Pull it so that it is no longer being strained. This is a reason why you want extra zipper tape in. so that it can survive the turning. Like a good werewolf. I'm going to survive the turning. Okay. And now I'm taking my forefinger and I'm curling it, and this is what I'm using to push out that binding. Use the binding. See you. Oh, I know what you want. Okay. Remember, a lot of times with vinyl, I like doing that second line. This gives you that second line of stitching without even thinking about it. So now you have that extra set of stitches, so then your stitches aren't going to show. Good golly, Miss Molly, this thing is adorable. Okay, see, I was just going to go ahead and do more bend and snaps, but this bag is so stinking cute. Where'd you go? I saw you. I try to make a habit of catching the threads when I see them. Okay. So, yeah. Damn it. Okay. See, I was thinking I really wanted to make the zipper panel wider because it does fight me. But it's so stinking cute. This little tiny zipper panel is just too adorable for words. And I've got 2 more panels of different colors of this that I'm like, maybe I could just make a little trio, you know, Huey, Dewey, Louie. Oh my God, I think they're the colors of Huey, Dewey, Louie. Stop. I need to stop. I have other things to do. I'm sorry. This was next on my list of prepping anyway, so look at that. Oh my God, it's so cute. I love how it came out. So see, the magnet sits just a smidge lower, so that means that when it's got stuff in it, it will sit nicely in its proper position. Where are you at? But there's the front, or this side, and I just have my little tag there. I think I might tack it down next time, just a little tack there. Or I might put it inside. I don't know. I'll think about it. It's just with this bag being so small, I don't want to have to charge I don't want to like have to charge more than I need to. So I pay myself, I pay the materials. So if it doesn't have a metal tag, that means that's an extra $2 of labor and an extra $2 of material. So that's almost $5 that I'm not having to tack onto the price to make up for that. If you sell bags, that is something you want to think about. What is going to work best? Trying to get that edge trimmed just a little bit more. I'm just being picky. Sometimes I do this. Yeah, I do like that pop of color there. I love the rainbow webbing with it. I am seriously tempted to do the other freaking panels this way. Because I have a blue that would work. It's so cute. And look how adorable this came out. Stop. And again, the only interfacing I have on this bag is Decoville Light in the panels and Decoville Light on the bottom. And I'm honestly thinking fleece would work just as well. Go. There we are. With binding, it doesn't hurt to, you know, go over it a few times to make sure that everything is done. If you are new to binding, always pick your prettiest side that you're going to really want to showcase and do that side first and then flip it out until you get super comfortable. And even then, sometimes, I had the urge to flip this out just to make sure it caught all the seams, like the pockets and that, which it did. It's so stinking cute. Hang on, let me get the, where are you at? Ugh. Why? Oh my Lord, why did I move? Okay, so, ugh. All right, YouTube, this shows more than I want it to show sometimes. So see, there's a blue one, and it says it's a marshmallow world, which is about the same size as that one. And then the other one's a little bit bigger, but I still think it would fit. And that one says just a marshmallow girl living in a marshmallow world. Look at this. And I so badly now want to just make one of each of them in this. So that's on my thought process right now because, yeah, time is it? It is just after 11, so that is grand. So now I'm wondering, because that one's for the wallet. See, now I'm wondering if like these would fit. So I've got this Beetlejuice one. Because I'm going to do 9 more, like I'm going to cut out 9 more in this one. And then I'm going to cut out another 10 in the Carpet Royalty line. The panel I got through D-Stash, but I know it's the matching of this with Backstitch fabrics. This was a past one, so was this. All I got of this one was the vinyl, or the panels, I mean. And actually, with a couple of my adjustments, I still think it would fit. So, which one should I do? Go ahead and make my millennium. Okay. Stick the cute bag right there for a second. Where are you at? Okay. So, I make clear templates for placement. Oh, you're so welcome. So, what I do is, I actually need to do that in another color. I will take the stabilizer piece of what I'm working with and I will trace it. It's really hard to see. I will trace it. There's like a brown line. I don't know if you can see. I trace it onto the page protector that's going to hold the pieces anyways. Now I do the stabilizer because then I know exactly if it's going to be too big. So I'm going to see if this is going to be too big. It's a touch on the large size, but because it just barely fits in the stabilizer, I know it'll fit. And, oh my God. Oh, what is wrong with me, y'all? I got other things to do, I know. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and start my list. So I'll make a Beetlejuice one. To figure out what I'm going to put on the flap, though. I'll have to see if somebody has a little bit of one of these cords, because I mean I've got a couple Beetlejuice ones that might match it out. these. What do we think of those two? Stripes are going different ways, but that's okay. This would just be the flap like this one. That's a maybe, I think. I don't really have that many Beetlejuice ones, but yes, so I like that for that. I'll put that over there. I have, oh, I've got Golden Girls. Oh, I wonder if, okay, so Rose would fit, saying it's like life is a giant weenie roast and I'm the biggest weenie. I feel you, Rose. It's a freaking mood. And I do have the matching cord for this. See, okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Like if I put down my placement thing, my placement template, I can see that it's going really right from word to word. Like it is filling up this whole thing. Now, that means that technically it could fit. However, if even a note of my seam allowance is off, then it's going to cut off part of that. So that one's most likely a no. Which one's the last one? Or there's Dorothy. I do love this bag. I do love this one because it says I'm either going out for ice cream or to commit a felony. I think I'm going to do this one because this is a very grab and go kind of bag. Like somebody who doesn't like put a lot of stuff in their purse. I think if I do Dorothy, that kind of matches the feeling of the bag. Okay, so Dorothy it is. Just going to put that over here. Y'all get to help me pick out stuff. Isn't that fun? So, yeah, and here's the matching cord for, so this will be on the flap. Listen, y'all, Backstitch has got some game, okay? They just did a 90s one, and I had to let it pass because I just didn't have the, though they are doing payments now. So this is Stitch, Sketchy, which is really cute. I have this other one, but I've already got this kind of planned out because it says be weird, normal is too mainstream. And that'll fit perfectly on a classic zip around. So I'm definitely saving this one for a classic zip around. But it does mean I'll have extra from that if I need it. So I can do the flap with that if I want to. So this one says, I tried to be good, but then I got bored. Okay. Okay. Dorothy. I love, they picked the best quotes for that. And then this is the Experiment 626. I think this is going to be, yeah, this is another one where it will. However, I think I'm going to stick with the other one. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I tried to be good. Mainly because I have extra that I can use from the other panel to do the flap. Does anybody want to take bets on if I'm going to remember that I'm doing? Oh, okay. And then I've got this Disney one. Oh, I've got some pretty pools for that too. Let's see. So this one has beautiful little rainbow stripes. It says, have faith in your dream and someday your rainbow will come smiling through. I love that. Oh, I love that for this bag. And it does fit really nicely, actually. So there's that one. Definitely keep your eye, definitely make sure you're a part of the Backstitch group and that you're a part of their BTS. I can't remember. So this one's Taste the Rainbow. This one I think I might keep for a wallet as well. And then we got the stripes again with love. Oh, I do like that one a lot too. Oh, I think I'm going to do the love. I think it has that nice square shape that's going to be cool. Okay. Well, y'all, it is time for lunch. And if I don't get off of here now, I'm going to keep talking and making plans, and my stomach is going to revolt. So thank you, everybody who joined. So one more look at how pretty it is. Look at how pretty. Oh my God. That actually didn't turn too badly. So if you have a thick vinyl with this, I think you're okay with the minimal of stabilizer. But as always, trust yourself. Don't always measure with your heart. And don't let your machine get the best of you. Bobbing. Bye. Boop. And then you end.